Hey Jenna, I'm Caitlin, a PA student. I know that you're due to have your baby within the next 2 weeks. Congratulations. I want to go over the options of breastfeeding or bottle feeding, maybe clarify some questions that you may have. I know this is a new time for everything. So, regardless whether you breastfeed or bottle feed, baby's going to have to do either of those until about 4 or 6 months of age. That's when you can introduce solid foods. So, if you go by kind of the guidelines, they recommend breastfeeding if you can. So, breastfeeding is really good. It helps with bonding. So, that's time with you and your baby alone. And it's kind of that skin-to-skin contact. It also provides antibodies from your body into the baby. Antibodies cross in the breast milk, which can help boost that baby's immune system and maybe fight off some infections more than maybe a bottle-fed baby would. Breast milk is very easily digestible compared to your formulas that have other kind of ingredients. Breast milk may be a little more natural. And then it can also decrease the rate of like allergies, asthma, skin conditions like eczema. So a lot of those are like allergy type symptoms or hypersensitivity. So if you give breast milk, there's a decreased chance compared to bottle feeding. And then some studies show that, I know a lot of us have heard of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS. Breastfeeding can also decrease the chance of SIDS. Now, on the other hand, with breastfeeding, if you solely breastfeed, breast milk doesn't have a lot of vitamin D or iron in it, so your baby will have to go on supplementation. If baby doesn't have enough vitamin D, the bones don't develop very well, and if the baby's totally deficient, then you could form rickets or anything like that. Another thing, bonding's nice skin to skin, but you're very committed to feeding the baby unless you supplement with formula, which is also an option. But your typical newborn feeds every 2 to 3 hours, so you have to be committed and be willing, if you're in public or at a family member's house, that you're going to take time and feed your baby. Also, you might have to watch what you eat, so a lot of things that may cross into the breast milk and can cause allergy or intolerance, like the baby is sensitive stomach. You'll have to watch what you eat. And then you always run the risk of, it's not that comfortable to some women. You can have nipple sensitivity, nipple cracking, milk ducts get blocked, and then there's always mastitis where it's very painful. And I'm not telling you that per se to scare you, but it's just definitely something to think about, that as you breastfeed, those things could happen. If you did not want to breastfeed, you could do formula. So majority of formula is cow's milk based. That's like Enfamil, Similac, like that kind of stuff. Good thing about those, they have plenty of iron, so your baby will not have to be on like supplementation. You wouldn't have to necessarily watch what you eat since baby's eating more from formula. Good thing, you could kind of take a little break. Dad, family members, they can help feed baby with formula, and which can also help with their bonding. And then if you're also worried about kind of how much is baby eating, you can't really tell breastfeeding, but if you bottle feed, you can keep track of the ounces going in. Issue with bottle feeding with formula is expensive. You have to pay for the formula, you have to pay for bottles. If you're gonna pump, you got to get a breast pump. It can be very expensive. Also, you don't get those antibodies passed from mom to baby, so you have to also keep that in mind. There's a lot of preparation with bottle feeding. You have to mix it in the fluid, or the water, and you have to make sure it's the right temperature. And then you also run the risk of allergies to it. A lot of kids are allergic to kind of cow's milk based, or very insensitive to it. But if you did choose bottle feeding, there's other formulas, hydrolyzed soy, that kind of stuff. So neither option's horrible, neither option's the best. It's just kind of up to you what you would like to do and what would fit best with your schedule. I know that was kind of a lot. Do you have any questions for me?